For 30 minutes. South Florida's locker room will be open for the next 30 minutes. Good to see you. Good to see you. How's everything? Good. Welcome back. I think we're ready. First up today is the University of South Florida Bulls. The Bulls are the number 8 seed in the Greenville number 1 region. They are 26-6 overall. They went 15-1 in the American Athletic Conference and won the AAC's regular season title. They earned an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, and they are led by head coach Jose Fernandez, who is in his 23rd season at USF. And we are joined today by Coach Fernandez, student athletes Elena Chineka, Dulce Fancom Mengiadu, and Sammy Puisas. Coach, if you would, please make an opening statement, and then we'll open up for questions after that.
Great job with those pronunciations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Been working all night.
It's great to be back here, and the tradition of basketball here in this city and the program, and we're excited to be back in the NCAA tournament. It never gets old to participate in March Madness. Looking forward to practicing this afternoon here and playing tomorrow against Marquette.
With that, we'll open it up for questions just for the student athletes at this time. If you would, please raise your hand, and we have field mic that we will get to you. And Joe's got the first question. All right.
Elena, obviously, being able to be in the same arena that you were in last season feels like that's got to be a little bit of an advantage for you guys as players. What did you first think when you saw Columbia pop up again as your bracket for the season?
I was like, here you go again. It's a great opportunity. Yes, we've been here before. I've been here before. But it's a new thing again. It's not a continuous from last year. It's all new. So we got to give everything we got.
Joe again.
For Dulce, what's kind of your lasting memory from last trip? Obviously, a lot to learn from your last time here, but what kind of are your main takeaways from the experience playing here last year, getting that experience against Miami?
My takeaway from last year was we didn't come ready the way we should have. So this year is just kind of different. We're kind of approaching in a different ways.
Chris?
For all three of you, Chris Webb on Gamecock Central, for any of you, is there any benefit to having been here last year? Are there any quirks to the arena that maybe you're familiar with now?
Let's start with Sammy down at the end and then work back this way.
Well, I wasn't here last year, but so maybe they can speak on that better.
The court is familiar to us, but it's not familiar to all of us because we're a new team. So we all have to get our shots up, fill the basket again. Yeah.
Dulce?
We played 30-something games already. We kind of lost touches. We're gonna need to go ahead and get some good shooter running all that again.
Some rhythm.
Joe?
Sam, I'll get a question for you now. Obviously, there's a few days of time we're able to kind of maybe do some scouting, get a little bit prepared for this game before you get hassled with the travel and just kind of the experience of March Madness. From your perspective, what are some things you're learning early on about Marquette and how are you able to match up with them?
Yeah, they're a very, physical, solid team. I think it's a good matchup. They play man, we play man. It's really going to come down to who owns the boards. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Joe?
I guess, Elena, since you're kind of the veteran of the team, having this experience already, maybe, obviously, you have a known quantity with the three of you up here as far as scoring and kind of being the leader statistically, but who would you say is maybe a player on your team that could be the X factor this weekend to help you advance?
Besides them two?
Besides
them too. I think Carla would be a good factor, especially if she steps up on defense, because we're gonna need her to defend and grab boards. So she could be a big X factor for us.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, open up for questions for Coach Fernandez. Joe again.
Coach, welcome back to you and your whole team. I guess we'll have the same type of questions for you as a staff, preparing your team in a very similar environment, similar scenario in those 8-9 matchups. How much does that kind of help you get your players more comfortable going into what's already a hectic week?
Well, it gave us the opportunity. We started to work on Marquette on that Monday, the day right after. But, we'll get a good hour and a half here. We're not shooting around tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning, so we'll be without a shoot around. I think they're excited about that as well. So November and December for us, we've played in a lot of different places. We're at Texas, we're at TCU, we're at NC State, playing 2 games out in San Diego and 3 in the Thanksgiving tournament. So that's what you want to prepare your team for, especially in non-league play. So when you go to the NCAA tournament, you've already have had those experiences with different tip times: afternoon, mid-afternoon, late at night. So that's what we'll deal with.
Joe?
I guess from the X's and O's perspective, how much have you been able to really dig into Marquette? Has it been more kind of analyzing your own team, or has it been really looking into the matchup and where you can find your matchups?
You know what? Today will be, we won't spend too much time on Marquette today. Today will be a lot of shooting in here to get familiar with the building. Because we do have, we'll dress 10 and 5 of those are freshmen, right? So a lot of the work on Marquette has already been done, and it was done yesterday and back home. So today will mainly be about us getting up and down the floor, playing a little bit, and what are going to be the first things that we're going to do well on both ends of the floor. But we've had, I think, probably how many film sessions already? 4. We got 1 more this afternoon and 1 tomorrow morning. So I think both teams will know each other really, really well. Both teams have had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4.5 days to prepare for each other. So the team that does what they've done well all year will be the team that has success tomorrow. We got to be who we are. We got to defend and keep them off the glass. And then on the offensive end, do what we've done all year.
Chris?
Aside from not having a shoot around, what is the schedule like for the game tomorrow? And is there anything you, excuse me, is there any experience you can draw on for such an early tip?
Well, no, we talked about, it's funny, we talked about this yesterday. We'll get here at 10, an hour and a half before the game, and we'll get on the floor an hour before, but we got to be a little creative what we're going to do tomorrow morning at pregame meal and film, and we got a couple different activities planned, right?
Yeah.
We got the rest of the day after practice eating. We'll eat down there and down on Main Street, and before dinner we'll try and we'll take them out and do something fun later on this afternoon.
Joe?
For the casual fan that's coming out for this weekend who may recognize you guys from last year, what are some key differences to the team? Obviously, adding Sammy to the mix is a big game changer, having some freshmen in the mix as well. But what kind of is the biggest difference between the 2022-23 Bulls and last year's Bulls?
Well, totally different. We had at one point, and we had 3 of the top 30, 40 scorers in the country on one team, and that's definitely makes our job a lot easier when you have me as a coach, the opportunity to coach these guys every day. Every year, every team has a different dynamic and a different feel, right, in the locker room and off the court. So if you look at how well we've shot the ball compared to last year from 2 and from 3 and from the free throw line, it's a big difference statistically on paper. So I've had an unbelievable time with this group, and I'm definitely going to miss the 2 to my right. I've only been able to coach Sammy 1 year, and I'm looking forward to, coaching her 1 more. because she just joined our program. But what Elle's done, what she's been here, you know, there's a lot of guys that have come in our program and laid the foundation, but she's been spectacular to coach. And so has Dulcie. When two of your best players are your hardest workers, you know, it just shows everybody, you know, what it takes to be successful. You know, and I'm looking forward to them finishing their career on a great note, and they have unbelievable things ahead of them professionally as well.
Joe?
You had mentioned rebounding being kind of the X factor in this game. Obviously, you have a very known quantity with Dulcie and what she's able to do. Are there other players that you're hoping could kind of step up and fill in the gaps and be able to hold Marquette off?
Yeah, it's going to have to be a collective effort. I think we got to be solid at the 4 spot with Carla, Danny, and Emma, and you know our wings are going to have to do a great job of rebounding as well. You know, and if you look at the numbers, we both do a really good job on the glass. I mean, but what they did in the Big East, second in offensive rebounding in that league, they averaged 12 offensive rebounds a game. You know, so it's going to come down to that. It is second shot opportunities. You know, we got to be solid defensively, and it's got to be one shot and out for them.
Any other questions for Coach Fernandez? All right, let them go back to the locker room, and again, the locker room is still open for another 20 minutes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your hospitality. It's great to be back here.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Good luck. Yeah, thank you. See you tomorrow.
So,